the only way to improve at a game typically is to lose at it. The first time you play or do anything, you're going to suck at it, right? That's, what was it? The first step toward being kind of good at something is sucking at something. That's nothing new.
Or Hemingway says the first draft of anything is shit.
Sure.
Right? So you'll find that people in different fields express the same idea. And essentially, like, the first draft of writing anything is like your first time playing a video game, right?
Absolutely.
You might, for example, produce 5,000-word blog posts that a very small fraction of humanity wants to read. But the point is, what do you do with that failure?
You learn from it.
Yeah.
But the key, though, is to not focus on it failing and not labeling it as such, because that's really what the art of losing is about, is overcoming the fear of failing at something. And if there's anything that human beings are afraid of, it's failing.
Right.
And it's whatever shame we feel, or embarrassment, or just letting ourselves down or others down, like, that is always going to be the strange force. That's probably, if you talk to most people from our generation, most of their big life decisions were based upon, at some point, them being afraid of failing at, whether it's in school or their boss, or maybe it's something that they told their parents they were going to do. And it's great, obviously, to win and succeed at all those things. But the truth of the matter is, no one succeeds 100% of the time.
No, and I think that's the biggest myth. The biggest myth is to think that human success is based on success. Human success is based on failure. It's based on trial and error. And you can't have error. You can't have progress without error. And you can't have progress without a willingness to try, knowing that the whole point is to fail and to fail forward.
But if you are emotionally caught up on failing and how that identifies you as a person, then you're going to miss all of that. That's what happens to a child. And that's what I touch on in The Art of Losing, is that I talk about teaching chess to kids and how that game is so dense and so difficult and so great all at the same time, that when a child first starts to learn it, all they do is fail at it. They fail at learning it, like how the pieces move. They fail at the meta of it. They fail at the mid game and the end game and checkmates. And every fucking part of chess is hard for anybody. And for a child in particular, who they want to give me, if they don't get the prize, they're upset or they're sad. And it's a very, very simple, basic human nature that children exhibit. And games help kind of make that really obvious for everybody. Like when people lose, you can look at a child, they don't like it. So if you can teach them, though, that losing is just a part of the process of getting better at something, which again seems so obvious, but I think it's something we have to be taught still. I think the point is, it's not, listen, it's not obvious to most of humanity. If it was obvious to most of humanity, the world would work very differently.